It's time for another frozen pizza review, and today we're getting around to the big brands such as Freschetta. Now, I don't know that I've ever had a Freschetta pizza, but what I noticed is it's made in Marshall, Minnesota. Do you remember what frozen pizza review we did that was also made in Marshall, Minnesota? I wonder if it could be the same factory. I'm telling you, if you just read where these things are made, you might find out a pizza you like and a pizza you hate are actually the same pizza. How angry will that make you to be played in such a way? So today, this is a little scary because it says sort of a warning in the back. It says contains bioengineered food ingredients. Oh, good. That's just like Grandma used to make. Again, I'm not quite sure what we paid for this. I'll go ahead and put the price right over here. I know they're, these $6 pizzas, generally speaking, very common. If you're not in the United States, if you're watching these videos from other countries, these are everywhere in the US. That's what frightens me about it. They're not everywhere because they're high quality. They're everywhere because you get a lot for the money. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to taste bad. However, let's take a look at what's inside and see how close it matches the picture. Oh, wow. I appreciate this kind of a wrap because you can peel these open. Usually there's an edge to it, and you just separate the bottom half from the top half and peel it back. It's not that cheap, thin plastic stuff that you just tear open with your hands. Oh, that's so much easier. Now, right out of the gate, this looks like something a restaurant would make and then freeze. Having worked in pizza restaurants like Domino's, Little Caesars, to some extent Pizza Hut, this reminds me of the 1980s working in those pizza places. It's very similar. The crust here is much thicker than what we typically see. There's a nice coating of cheese on here, and the pepperonis, there's plenty there. They're not distributed properly because they've shifted around during shipping. So I don't know that I can even move these. They're pretty much frozen to the top of the pizza, I think. But I will try. Oh, I'm having a pretty good luck with this right now, so maybe not. Pepperoni's breaking on me, and just give a little bit more even distribution. But again, not much they can do about that, unless you ask a chatbot, and an AI chatbot tells you to use glue. Remember that? Wasn't that long ago. All right, they're just starting to break apart, so I'm gonna just, I guess, leave the rest of them where they are. Let me go throw this in the oven. It's gonna be at the lower 400-degree Fahrenheit temperature, which typically means they want it in there for a longer period of time. This one, the time on it, they say bake it for, wow, 21 to 24 minutes. Okay, so that's likely because it's a rising crust, and it's going to take some time for that crust to rise without blasting it with heat and causing the whole crust to burn while being raw on the inside. That makes total sense. The cooking instructions make sense. Pizza looks good. I see some cheddar. I see some mozz. I don't know, does it say what else is in there? It says 10% more pizza than DiGiorno, rising crust ultimate pepperoni by weight. 27.35 ounces compared to 24.7 ounces. Okay, 3 ounces makes a difference, okay. Keep frozen, cook as directed, enlarge to show detail. Okay, bioengineered foods. Maybe that's not as bad as it sounds. Let me go pop it in the oven, and I'll see you back here in just a second with the cooked product, and we'll give it a taste test. Well, here it is, guys, and it actually looks like the first real frozen pizza I've ever cooked. That's the most similar to what I would cook at a restaurant back in the day. Look at the difference. Look how much it's puffed up, and it smells like a pizza bakery in here, which is not a bad smell. Let me set it down, come around, and we do have to give this a minute to cool down, but I found it difficult to remove this directly off the oven rack. You see, the rising crust will actually move out And the bottom as well, it will rise from below, and then it got trapped into the rack of the oven. And if you look, you might see where it started to try and expand outward down instead of just outward up. Keep that in mind. It might be a good reason to place it on a pizza stone or a baking sheet. However, not that big of a deal. I just kind of had to lift it up away from the rack. I couldn't just slide it. Nice generous toppings on here. Lots of cheese. I see lots of sauce all over my board. The crust seems pretty well stable. Okay. Who knew? It's checking all my boxes pre-taste. Everything's good. It did take a very long time to cook. We're looking at 22 minutes cook time at a lower temperature, the 400-degree temperature. But I probably could have left it in another minute or so. I was getting, it says you could leave it in a little longer, but I thought, yeah, let's take it out now and give it the best chance possible for the best flavor test. Okay, I'll give it a shot here. That tastes exactly like a frozen pizza. That's not good. Boy, does it really look the part, though. But look at that cheese pull. Well, not that impressive, but you know, sometimes there's barely any cheese at all on some of these. Let me just see how the cheese is. It's very candied. If I had to guess where we're marketing this at, your primary target audience would be people in college, short on money, hungry all the time, need something they can have in the dorm, something that'll be good when it's cold 3 hours later. I think this fits the profile. However, at least in the dorm rooms I was in, nobody cooked. We always just ordered delivery. But and nobody ever put the remaining uneaten pizza in a refrigerator. You just left it in the box. It's fine. I would think teenagers and very young adults would find this appealing, and certainly good value for the money. For the amount of food you're getting, which they stated on the box, they're right. There's definitely more to fill you up. This will feed more people. But is it something you'll crave? Not unless you acquired a taste for it. Let me just try this pepperoni right here because it's nice and crispy. I just want to isolate the individual ingredients and where I'm having trouble. I'm sure it's the sauce. Pepperoni's fine. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's definitely not detracting. Something in this is detracting. Let me just try the crust here because it's so bready. Is it tasty? Oh, what does it taste like? If Pillsbury made a pizza dough, it would taste like this, like a rising. If there was, and there might be a Pillsbury rising crust pizza dough sold in a can that you would unroll and put your own toppings on and cook. If you can imagine that Pillsbury flavor, that's what this tastes like. On its own with some butter, it might be good, but as a pizza crust, it doesn't work for me, not at all. And the sauce is just candied. It's so sugary. It definitely has that frozen pizza cheap taste. What a shame. It looks and smells great. But unfortunately, the taste difference between this and like a Red Baron or a Tony's or DiGiorno, they're all kind of the same. Nobody's ringing any bells any higher up than all the other bells that are being rung. They're all about the same level. They're all about the same price. We got to break out of this circle of I don't know what it is. It's just one company doing the same thing the others are doing instead of rising above. We have to break the cycle, and I know just how to do it. Coming up soon, I've got a frozen pizza review that's going to blow the lid off where all the 10s, the rated 10 or potentially close to 10 frozen pizzas are. And yeah, you don't have to worry about not having it near you. That's the only secret I'm going to give you. And I think people need to know about it because, look, if you want something quick and cheap, you know what you're getting, right? Just go down to your local market, you go pick it up, last minute thing, done deal. However, what if you want a really good pizza, something that could be a 10? You really, that's the highlight, the star of the show is the pizza. You probably have to go somewhere, right? What if that somewhere could come to you? Frozen. So it still fits our category of frozen pizza reviews. What does that mean? Stay tuned to find out. I'll have that video up soon, a little later this week. And it might just open your eyes to possibilities that are quite endless because it goes far beyond just pizza. My review, as far as a score on this, I guess I need to give this a score. Gosh, it looks so good and it's a good value, but I can't eat it. So I'm going to say it's a 5. If I had to give you an example of a frozen pizza and said, you know, this is a good prototype of what a typical frozen pizza in America costs and tastes like, it's this. So for that, it scores a 10, being highly accurate for mediocre. Does that make any sense? 5. It's right down the middle. It's not terrible. It's not inedible. It's not delicious. It's a good value. It looks, it smells great. Doesn't taste as good as it looks or smells, however. There you have it. We'll see you on the next frozen pizza review video here very, very soon. Please be sure and hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying this content. And let me know your favorite go-to frozen pizza. Am I missing something, or do you completely disagree with my assessment on this? Maybe you and I have very different taste buds. I hope we do. Don't be shy. Leave your comments in the, be nice, but leave your comments in the section below. I look forward to reading them, and I do try to respond to all of them. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Bye for now.